hearts of men. The shadow knows.
Your local Blue Coal dealer presents The Shadow. These half-hour dramatizations are designed to forcibly demonstrate to old and young alike that crime does not pay. Before the final broadcast of this Shadow series begins, keep this fact in mind, homeowners. One way to be sure of maintaining steady, even temperatures throughout your home during these changeable days and nights of March and April weather is by burning blue coal. Blue coal is America's finest anthracite. It gives perfect, dependable warmth and stops overheating or quick chilling of rooms. Remember the name Blue Coal for better heat with less furnace attention in all kinds of weather. And be sure to hold on at the close of today's Shadow story, for we have an unusual treat in store for you. The Shadow, mysterious character who aids those in distress and helps the forces of law and order, is in reality Lamont Cranston, wealthy young man about town. Cranston's friend and companion, the lovely Margot Lane, is the only person who knows to whom the unseen voice belongs. Today's story, Can the Dead Talk?
Oh, good afternoon, Miss Lane.
Hello, Aunt. Mr. Cranston in?
Yes, Miss Lane. I want to...
Hello, Margot.
Hurry up, Lamont. We'll be late for Aunt Eliza's big charity benefit. She's been working on it for the last 6 months. Now, come on.
Oh, all right. Get my coat, Ames, please.
Yes.
Honestly, Lamont, you're acting like a little boy who doesn't want to go to dancing school. You'll probably enjoy it. This man Voltaire is supposed to be very good.
Margot, I don't like mind readers.
He isn't a mind reader. He calls himself a mentalist.
Well, it means the same thing to me.
Well, I understand he's fascinating. When he's not performing on the stage, he goes around exploding the myths of haunted houses and things like that. He doesn't believe in ghosts.
Oh, my...
Your coat, sir.
My coat? Oh, yes. Thanks. Listen, Margot, I've got to be back at 6 o'clock. There's a polo match at the Armory tonight.
Yes, I know. I've got a front row seat. And you needn't act like such a martyr. If I can spend the evening watching you trying to break your silly neck playing croquet on horseback, it won't hurt you to go with me this afternoon and have your mind improved.
Deliver me from a logical woman. Very well. Lead on, Macduff.
And now I will proceed with my next experiment.
See, Lamont, I told you we'd be late. It started already.
Let's sit back here and make this as painless as possible.
Certain of you in the audience have written on the slips of paper that my assistant distributed questions you would like me to answer. Now, if you will concentrate on what you have written, I will try to get these questions by thought transference. But remember, you must concentrate. I must be in complete accord with your thoughts. I get the initials, E.K. Someone with the initials E.K. wants to know the date of her marriage. I think it was... Yes, I'm sure it was. March 24th, 1903. Is that right?
Oh, yes, that's right. Did you hear that, Lamont? He's marvelous, don't you think?
That's an understatement.
Oh, don't be so superior.
Everybody, please concentrate. I cannot conduct this experiment in thought transference without sympathetic cooperation from my audience. Now I get the initials BDM. BDM wants to know the street, number, and city where he was born. The street is Walnut. The number 2124. The city, Philadelphia. Am I right?
Gee, he got it.
But he's marvelous. How do you suppose he does it?
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Wait, please. Before I proceed further, I feel that in this room there is someone who is not only an unbeliever, but one who is distinctly hostile to me and what I am trying to do.
There, Lamont, he must mean you.
Nonsense. Probably part of it.
I would like that person to attempt a little experiment with me. If he or she will think of something, some question, the answer to which is known to no one else, I will attempt to answer it correctly without the person having written the question down at all. If I can answer it correctly, it should prove to the skeptic that the transference of thought from one mind to another is completely possible.
Nice trick if we can do it.
You don't think it's possible, Lamont, huh?
I won't say it's impossible, but it's certainly highly unlikely.
Well, think of something and concentrate on it and see if you can get it.
I will not. In the first place, you don't know that I was the one he was referring to. Second place, even if I were, I wouldn't give him the satisfaction. You think of something that no one could possibly know but yourself. I'll bet you 100 to 1 he can't get it.
Well, perhaps you're right.
Quiet, please. Quiet. Someone in the audience is concentrating on the question, who is the shadow?
Margot, did you think of that just then?
Yes, but I don't know why. It just seemed to come into my head. Not you.
I will answer that question. No, on second thought, I believe I will not give the answer after all. Unless I am very much mistaken, the shadow himself is present. And I don't believe this is just the time to remove his veil of secrecy. However, in case the shadow thinks this is merely a sham, I would like to inform him that within an hour, he will receive a cablegram from someone he never heard of.
What do you suppose that means?
I haven't the
I
faintest
will now
idea.
proceed with the questions that have been written on the papers. Someone whose initials are LTZ wants to know the number of the license plate on his car.
Oh, Lamont, let's get out of here.
You can go if you like, my dear Margot. But I'm going to stay till the end.
For heaven's sake, why?
After the performance, I think the shadow will pay a little call on Mr. Voltan. I'm consumed with a burning desire to find out just what he knows.
Close the door, Emil. I wish to dress.
Yes, master.
Remove my boots.
Yes, master.
Careful, you clumsy fool. What's the matter with you?
I'm sorry,
Imbecile, go. Leave me alone.
Yes, master. I will.
Well, what's the matter?
Master. The doorknob turned. The door is opening. But the hall is empty.
Ah, good afternoon. Won't you come in?
Have you gone mad, master? There is no one
You
here.
are wrong, Emil. There is someone here.
But I see no one.
Of course not. You may leave us alone, Emil.
Yes, master.
Well, Shadow.
Well, Voltan,
Sit down, won't you?
unfortunately, I can't stay. I have an engagement.
Really? Perhaps your engagement is with that well-known clubman, Mr. Lamont Cranston.
Is Lamont Cranston a friend of yours?
No, matter of fact, we've just now met.
Interesting. True.
Why beat about the bush, Shadow? I know perfectly well that you're Lamont Cranston.
Are you sure you haven't got me confused with someone else?
Quite. Of course, at the moment, I admit I'm unable to see you, owing to a trick of visual hypnotics, which it is hardly worth my while to come back. However, your charming companion this afternoon, Miss Lane, wasn't it? Let her mind dwell on the subject quite intensely. Her thought waves were unmistakable.
On second thought, I find I can spare you a few minutes, Voltan.
Good.
My respect for your powers is increasing momentarily. Well, now that you know, what are you going to do about it?
I haven't decided yet. Remember, I and I alone know that Lamont Cranston and the Shadow are one and the same, with the exception of your friend Margot Lane. Of course, you realize how much your life would be worth if the underworld should ever learn that you are the Shadow.
I have a rough idea.
And yet that would be a pity. To terminate so unceremoniously the brilliant capabilities of one who, as the Shadow, is known and feared throughout the world.
Just what are you getting at?
Let me tell you a little story, my friend. Did you ever hear of Anton Proskovai?
Anton Proskovai? The famous anarchist who at one time or another was kicked out of every country in Europe?
That's the man.
Well, the last I heard of him was some 10 years ago, when he was sent into exile. He's supposed to have died there.
Anton Proskovai didn't die in exile. He escaped. But he dropped out of sight for 10 years because he was making a study of that least understood attribute of mankind, the human mind.
You mean you?
Yes, I am Anton Proskovai.
You, Anton Proskovai? The man without a country?
I do not need a country.
What do you mean?
Shadow, when I started my studies of the brain, I quickly found that people mentally are like sheep. They can be influenced, swayed in any direction by a mentality stronger and superior than their own.
Of course. That's nothing particularly new.
Wait. After I had made my escape for years, I wandered, living in ditches, eating in pigsties, hounded from country to country by government agents. But all the time, I was collecting subjects.
Subjects?
Yes, Shadow. Among the submerged, ill-used, half-starved rabble of every nation, there are potential leaders. Leaders who, given the opportunity, could be the dictators of tomorrow.
Go on.
These men, I know. I know them so intimately that from wherever I am, I can control their minds. You saw Emil, my servant. He is completely subjugated to my will.
But that's hypnotism. Relatively simple.
Not at all. It is not hypnotism. Although I dominate Emil's mind whenever I wish, to all appearances, he is a normal human being. He can be released only if I feel fear. And I am never afraid.